Hello, Spiritual Biz Success peeps. How are you guys? Kimberly Maska here, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. And there was a great question in here the other day. Somebody was asking about tithing. I had mentioned tithing, and they're like, what does that mean? And there's always this confusion around tithing. So tithing I think, has this old connotation. We're talking about the church, right? We tithe for the church, and it has this kind of like negative connotation. But I want to switch that. I want to change what that really means, because it's a new time, it's a new day, it's a new way of looking at things. And when we start to see it this way, it's going to make a big difference. So tithing is really about an energy exchange with the universe. It's allowing energy to flow out and to flow in. And when we don't allow things to flow, it becomes very stagnant. So when your money isn't flowing out in a way of giving and then allowing it to come back in, it gets really stagnant. If you're just taking and taking and taking and then spending on things, there's a stagnant flow of money. And what's interesting is that when people are in scarcity, in that scarcity mode, they tend to not tithe. Hey, Dottie. They tend to not tithe. And they're not tithing because they're in scarcity mode, which is the exact time you should be tithing. Because when you're in scarcity mode, what you're doing is you're energetically suffocating your bank account. You're hanging onto it so tight because you're like, I only have this much, I can only have this, and I have to pay the rent, and I have to pay whatever car payment. And what's happening is that you're focused on the negative, you're in scarcity, and you're literally suffocating your bank account. And so what happens is when you begin to tithe, you get trust, you have faith, you know that the universe, source, God will provide. And when you have faith that God will provide and that source will provide what it is that you need, that the universe will deliver to you exactly what you need, that faith allows things to flow in. And that's how you create an abundant flow of money. And when you are counting the bills and figuring out how to pay things, that's the moment to tithe. Now, tithing, who are you tithing to? What does this mean? So tithing is giving, traditionally it was the church asking for 10%. This is not what we're talking about, although it kind of is. What we're talking about is the 10%, and it's the 10% of giving back to the universe, of really this energetic flow. It doesn't have to be a church. I'm not talking about institutional stuff, but I am talking about giving to a cause, giving to a foundation, giving to a space that is helping share the message that resonates with you. So if it's sharing a message of oneness, of love, of raising consciousness, then that feels good, then that's where you need to be tithing. Now, how much do you tithe? Is it 10%? 10% seems to scare people a lot. And so when we're talking about the tithing, it has to feel good. In theory, it should be 10%. I can't say for sure that I'm going to call it a universal law, like don't quote me on this, but it feels like a universal law because it feels like that's the right amount to give, and it goes way back in time of us knowing that that's the amount to give. People used to give 10% of their crops to the universe, to source, to be able to see more abundance the following years. So the 10% is historically the right number. But if giving 10% of your income feels really uncomfortable, then don't do it. If you're giving away the money and you're like kind of complaining and bitching and moaning about it, that's not the time to be doing it. You have to feel good. You have to be in alignment with sharing the money, with putting it out there. So when you're ready to tithe, find a place that feels good, that's in vibrational alignment with the message that's going to change the planet, because that's going to give more good, right? It's going to, the giving of that money creates more good. It creates a greater message. Tithing is not, let's talk a little bit about what tithing is not. Tithing is not giving to family members. Tithing is not giving to your kid's school that's going to help, how do I want to put it? The reason why I say it's not for like tithing to your kid's school, it has to do with the fact that you can't receive any direct benefit from it. So when you're giving money away, you can't donate to something because now the church is going to get like new pews and you're going to be comfortable, what have you. That's a bad example, but you want to make sure that where you're tithing, that it's a free giving, that you're not going to receive any direct benefit. It's a giving to the universe, and it's a faith that if you put the money out there, that it will come back. So tithing is also not giving to like charities per se. And I know that sounds weird because we're thinking, well, that should be the giving too. And charities are awesome. Still give to charities, but that's in addition to your tithing. So the tithing is really this faith in being able to release the energy of money to a place where you know that the message that you vibrate with, that's in vibrational alignment with you, is going to be shared, so that there's shifting of consciousness on the planet. That is tithing. That's where that needs to go. And then it's standing in faith and trust in the universe and source that it will come back, because it's flowing, and when it flows out will come back. It's part of the process. It's part of the whole universal process. What flows out will flow in. But when you aren't tithing and you're in scarcity and you're worried about money, you really are suffocating your bank account. That's not going to serve anybody. In fact, I tell people when they're in big time scarcity, like, give it away. When you like are really like, I only have like $100 left and I don't know what I'm going to do, give it away. Because when you give it away and you do it in faith of what is going to be returned to you, it's incredible what can happen. But you have to be able to breathe and give it away and have the faith and the trust that something amazing will come back. So that's what tithing is, and that's what tithing isn't. It will change your life. It feels so good to do it. And when you do it consistently, you see the rewards coming. It's amazing how that happens. It just is. It just does. And so you want to see your bank account grow, start giving money away. It's a beautiful thing to do. It serves so many people, and it will make you a better person for it in the long run. So that's your answers to tithing. I hope I got everybody's questions answered from the other day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, I'm Kimberly, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, and if you want to be able to tithe and see that money come back in, and you're ready to start your business, and you are ready to be the spiritual leader that you know you are meant to be able to serve thousands, then reach out. I'll post the link above for Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, because that's what you should be doing. If you've got the gifts, that's what we need to be doing, is shifting consciousness on this planet. I have 5,000 spiritual entrepreneurs to make, and I can't do it on my own. I need you guys to step up and step into who you really are to be that leader you were meant to be. So until next time, I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.